Tell me what you were doing here today.
I was invited up here today by the ladies that work for the school board over here to talk to them about Medicaid planning problems that families have who have children with special needs, whether it be from the standpoint of the Medicaid planning or from the standpoint of who's going to take care of my kids, interdictions, continuing tutorships, all those kind of things. I have a child with special needs, and that's kind of one of the things that she's been a blessing, and that's sort of been a lead for me to be able to get into this area of the law.
Sure. And is it tough? I mean, obviously it's tough already having to deal with a child that has special needs, but having to go through work through some of the legal issues and things like
absolutely. The legal issues are a nightmare when you deal with Medicaid planning. There's very little information out there. There's very few resources where people will where you can go and look and find information on this. The rules are in the funding sources are limited, and it's very tricky. So it's really important, and I tell all my clients to make sure to get the best information they can possibly get, and we try to give them some of that information when they come to talks like this.
Is this something you do across the state?
I do this all over the state. I've given many of these lectures, over the last few years, and I've got a bunch more coming up between now and Christmas. I've written some published articles on the subject as well.
So it seems to be a big deal, a big issue for people in this situation.
I find for people that have children with special needs, family members with disabilities, it's a huge issue, and we're out here trying to give them the information they need so that they don't make mistakes, they don't lose benefits or lose things because of the way the system works. The system can be tough to fight if you don't know how to do it and haven't had experience in doing it.
And I mean, it's like you say, you can't just go to like one website and all the questions are answered.
I was just telling somebody when I was finished up there that I wish I had just a particular book or a particular place where you could go find this information. It literally took me years to learn how to do this stuff. Medicaid planning has become the biggest part of my practice, but it's not as though they had a class in law school that taught me how to do Medicaid planning. It just requires lots of experience, and frankly, from my standpoint, the personal things that come from all the problems I dealt with my child as she's grown up, being a child with special needs.
And so what is it? Is it just because it's a difficult situation?
They make the rules are complex. They're hard to locate. The funding sources are limited. It's much easier for these organizations and governmental entities to say no than to help people navigate their way through the waters. And the most important thing I tell my clients is always get the best information you possibly can on this, because there's just so much bad information on it.
So if someone has questions, how do they go? What do they need to do? How can they go about?
Well, certainly they can contact me. I always encourage them, to at least talk to an attorney skilled in handling Medicaid planning issues. Talk to some of the people at some of the state agencies that handle this, whether it be Medicaid, which is a state agency, Office for Citizens with Developmental Disabilities, those type of agencies who exist for the purposes of helping people out with these types of programs and everything. But it's just as important not to rely on information you get from people that, sometimes they're nursing care facilities or people off the street or what have you who try to give information. And as I tell all my clients, if you try and do Medicaid planning without the best advice is like walking blindfolded through a minefield. Step on a landmine, it's hard to go back and fix later.
Certainly. And I mean, this is something that they don't necessarily go into seeking advice for.
Right. They don't know. I find most people don't even realize the services are out there, don't even realize what they need to do, and don't know where to turn. And that's why I've made it my mission to get out and try to let as many people know about it so that we can help them make sensible decisions, help them do the things that we've tried to do for my daughter